The fruit of the way, that is, Buddhahood, was realized by our forebears. Don Kashyap's robe of superior practice. Sit in Shakyamuni's seat, erected on the emptiness of constituent elements. Climb into Maitreya's pavilion of Vinaya practice, and enter Samantabhadra's Dharma realm body. They are able to make an impoverished guest receive the complete inheritance of the wealthy householder. If you are suddenly made to delve into the teaching of emptiness and experience its initial fruits, you will at once receive a prediction of future fame as a Tathagata, even though you do not yet have any gate by which to pursue this path, and are not yet proficient in the pathways of Buddhist teaching. There is never a single Dharma not tacitly joined to this implicit truth of Buddhism. If in the past the king of enlightenment, that is Shakyamuni, depended on it to become the Buddha, and in the future great heroes, that is the Bodhisattvas, will rely on it to realize the truth, then what Dharma gate does not reveal it? What doctrinal principle does not divulge it? There is not a single form of the objective realm that is not the basis for samadhi. There is not a single sound that is not an entrance to dharani. After a single taste of it, everything is transformed into its true flavor. Even after a single whiff of it, everything enters the Dharma realm. The wind, tree branches, the moon, and a sandy beach all can transmit mind. A blazing fire, an island, clouds, and a grove of trees all promote the wondrous message of Buddhist teaching. With each and every step, one treads the golden world. In each and every thought, one smells the aroma of the most fragrant of flowers. Even after scooping up a vast dry sea, the 100 rivers still flow. From the top of Mount Sumeru, everything has the same uniform color. As soon as one opens the eye of wisdom for contemplating images, one unequivocally returns to the implicit truth of oneself. In a state of tranquility, one instructs the mind to seek the pearl, that is, enlightenment, fully returning to the original truth of who one is. As a result, one causes the mountain of perverse views to fall asunder, and the sea of afflictions to be decimated. One uses the oars of wisdom to safely follow the current, and wondrous lofty peaks appear at the summit. Now, to make evident the great purpose of the patriarchs and Buddhas and the correct implicit truth of Buddhist scriptures and treatises, I have condensed the profuse writings of Buddhism, seeking out only the essential teachings. By provisionally putting forth questions and answers, and citing extensively from scriptures and treatises to provide evidence, I advance that universal mind is the implicit truth, revealing the myriad dharmas like a mirror. I have brought together here the profound doctrines formulated in times past, and selected and summarized what is contained throughout the entire corpus of writings in the treasure storehouse, that is, canon of Buddhist scriptures. All Buddhist writings are represented here. I refer to them as records. I have divided the work into 100 fascicles, broadly outlined in 3 sections. The first section establishes the correct implicit truth of Buddhism. I regard it as the ultimate goal. The next section puts forth questions and answers. I use them to dispel feelings of doubt. The final section cites from the corpus of Buddhist writings for verification. It earns the reader's full trust. Consequently, I have transmitted this teaching so that spiritually endowed beings may all repay the Buddha's kindness by practicing wondrous good deeds everywhere. know clearly that the teachings of Buddhism include both the principles of Chan that the patriarchs revealed by transmitting the correct implicit truth silently and tacitly, and the doctrinal teachings that the Buddha preached to establish the cardinal message through textual writings. Consequently, later students place their trust in what has been inherited from former worthies. On account of this, I begin my work with a section on revealing the implicit truth. Because there are doubts regarding the fundamental source, I have posed questions. In order to resolve the doubts, I provide answers. Through the questions, I expose feelings of doubt. Through the answers, the wondrous enlightenment surreptitiously emerges. This is referred to as the perfect teaching, a teaching difficult to trust in and hard to understand. It is the foremost explanation of Buddhist teaching, suited for those of the higher capacity. If not for the provisional use of words and texts, there would be no way to eliminate these emotional attachments. By using the finger to point at the moon, I do not disallow the techniques employed in expedient means. By forgetting the snare after catching the hare, these methods are in natural harmony with the way of things as ordained by heaven. Question. A former virtuous one said, "If you teach me to establish the implicit truth by settling on doctrines, it would be like looking for hair on a tortoise, or searching for horns on a hare." A verse in the Lankavatara Sutra says, quote, "All phenomena are unborn. One should not establish this as the implicit truth." How do you explain your title for this section, Revealing the Implicit Truth? Answer. Statements like these are for dispelling attachments. If it refers to the implicit truth which denies implicit truth, the implicit truth itself and explanations of it both elucidate this principle. Since the Buddhas of the past all provided expedient means, and Chan lineages also revealed a line of access, in essence, one cannot grasp onto expedient means and lose the cardinal message revealed by the Chan patriarchs. Nor can one reject expedient means and deny later explanations provided in doctrinal teachings. Nevertheless, before the capability to respond to spiritual messages, there was no teaching. After the teaching was formulated, nothing it explained was actually real. Even though there is true liberation and true awakening, explanations regarding both are nothing more than the objective accounts far removed from the original event. They are categorized as secondary considerations. By observing the Buddha eye in everything, within all the lands of the 10 directions, one still does not see that these things do not exist. How can they exist as phenomena when ultimately they are empty phenomena? Being able to destroy and overcome the view of phenomena as existing causes bodhisattvas to become Buddhas.